for me, it was wonderful to see how many people embrace the energetics of it, because so many of us get caught in the physical.
Yeah.
And even the fear of the physical, and get bound to that body. Oh, I can't stand.
Yeah.
And it's all about the physical aspects of that. There's something wrong with my physical form. And you came in and were like, bam, it's not about your physical, darling.
Yeah.
Physical is responding to your mental and your emotional. So let's do something with that. And you did it in a gentle, but very, like, here it is. You can make a choice.
Yeah.
And through a connection that you created very quickly, you opened the perspective of choice.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, and I'm going to do a little quick, I love this, because you made certain we had copies. The Way of the Spiritual Entrepreneur is a fascinating and wonderful, wonderful book. And individuals can get this from your website. We'll make sure that your website is under there. You know, even if you're not an entrepreneur, I think this book is an amazing, amazing book. And you do talk about choice, right? A lot in this. So if you're willing to talk about like the power of choice along with being compassionate versus empathetic, I think that that's something we forget a lot, that as physical beings, you know, we feel bound to physical laws, but we're not only physical beings, as you pointed out. We are multidimensional beings with tons of choices across multiple energetic levels.
Yes.
How do you empower people through all of these services that you offer in that way?
It's not about how I empower. I think the first step is they need to give themselves permission. The first step before any of that is decision, is to decide. You got to decide. You want to play or you don't want to play. And so, and then permission comes. Permission for self to do things very differently. Decision first, self-permission first, and then permission for the coach, the teacher, the friend to assist them. And then, so it's meeting them where they're at. Do you give yourself permission, mate? Have you decided that enough is enough? Okay, do you now give me permission to show you the way? And so we meet them where they're at, and then we continue on our merry way so that they come up to meet us. And then we go up again, and then they come up to meet us again. And I always say, but you gotta Goya, get off your ass. This work is not about sitting in lotus position going, you know, and going, I'm transformed. No, you haven't. Right? You have to actually take the action steps to do it. And there's formulas for everything that we do. And so The Way of the Spiritual Entrepreneur, the name of my book, it won Best Small Business and Entrepreneurship book when it first was released. The subtitle is The 7 Secrets to Becoming Fearless, Stress-Free, and Unshakable in Business and in Life. And so first, as an entrepreneur, I wrote a book, to answer your question, Amber. I wrote my first book in 2007 called called Secrets of the Red Lantern. I own a restaurant with my brother and my partner. It's 20 years now we've been in business. It's the most awarded Vietnamese restaurant in the world. And Secrets of the Red Lantern was a very dark and personal memoir, which I disguised as a cookbook so people would buy it. It worked a treat. I won Debut Writer of the Year. It became an international bestseller, completely changed my life. The Way of the Spiritual Entrepreneur is about self-mastery. It's about living your life in spirit and inspired. It's about magnifying human potential and decreasing suffering only if you choose to. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is the choice, right? And so it's the choice for entrepreneurs, but not only entrepreneurs. It is a very open book about humanity, to magnify human potential and relieve suffering, disguised as a book about a spiritual entrepreneur. And so it's a book about humanity, right? But it's the decision to say, as an entrepreneur or a business person, a human being, I don't want to do things the old way anymore. They've made that decision. I give myself permission now to do things very differently. I don't want to live my life in fear. I don't want to live my life in stress. I don't want to live my life so easily hacked by other people. And so unshakability comes when we know ourselves so deeply. We are so connected to self. The only way to connect with others truly is if we can understand that we can connect to self. We got to connect to self first. Excuse me, someone's just come in. And so when we are able to connect to self and understand ourselves, we can't be hacked. We can't be hacked. And so we remain unshakable. And so the first thing is to decide, to give yourself permission, and then to give the teacher permission. And that's what the heart of the way of the spiritual entrepreneur is very much about, to give yourself permission to see things differently, do things differently, and most of all, understand the reasons why we should see and do things differently.
I love it.